All right, cool. So, welcome to tonight's team call. This is Team Living Healthy and Fit Wednesday night team call. It is October 25th today. So we have about 6 days left in the month to really push forward and inspire some people to make some changes in their life through the end of the year and not get wrapped up in the hustle and bustle of the holidays and the craziness that is upon us. Tonight, I'm super excited to have the beautiful Allison Clark on our call tonight. Allison and I met through Meg. She's actually one of Meg's Diamond coaches. And the first time I actually met her was when PJ and I spoke at a Super Saturday a couple years ago. And she came in from Wisconsin to attend the Super Saturday. And we've had some really awesome times together since then. She's come to Ohio and visited, and we've gone places together. We partied in Punta Cana together. We've done Summit together. I don't think we saw each other much in Nashville, but in New Orleans this year, we definitely connected a few times. So I absolutely love her. She's recently hired Josh Coates, the mindset coach that a lot of you are in his free group. She actually recently just hired him as a personal life coach. So that's a really big move, you guys. That's a huge investment in her business and in her mindset and her life. So kudos to you for that, girl. And we're super excited to learn from you. And I hope you have either your phone, if that's what you take notes on, or a notepad and paper or notepad and pen to take notes. And I'm going to mute myself so you can take it away.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay. I'm really excited to be talking to you guys. And I know Corey said, oh my gosh, I just threw my notebook off my desk. But I know a lot of you guys are new coaches, and things can be so overwhelming, especially when you first come into this business. So at first I asked what Corey wanted me to talk about, and she didn't have a set topic. She just kind of let me run with it. And there are two things in this business that I'm really passionate about right now, and that's kind of come out through working with Josh. And I will say that, like Corey said, it was an investment, but it's been probably one of the best things that I've done for myself, because it's helped me push past limiting beliefs and really just create a solid routine and create that belief in myself to take this business to the next level. So the two things that I want to talk about, they're kind of separate topics, but they kind of tie in. So I'm going to kind of talk about them separately, and then I'll marry them together, I guess, if that's a good word. So the biggest thing, I think, is having vision in this business, you guys. And this is something that I've always had, but it's not something that I've really put my focus into until just recently. So when I say vision, I'm not talking about goals and rank or income or recruiting or success club goals. I'm talking about what you guys actually want out of your life. So this is not something that people ask us a lot, and it's not something that I think we're used to thinking about, because it's something, it's what we want out of life. So it's something so huge that most people can't even wrap their heads around it. So just to give you an idea of what I mean by vision, I'll kind of go ahead and share mine a little bit with you. So like I said, it's different than goals. So I'm not talking about short-term goals. I'm talking about where you guys want to be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, your lifelong, how you want to live your life. So for me personally, Brad, my husband, we both want to be home. I want him to be home with me every single day, and I want to be working from home as a full-time coach, because I don't know if you guys know my background at all, but right now we wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and we work out, and I'm getting pretty tired of it. So my vision is to have us home, and we're also in a spot where we've created a lot of debt for ourselves, not with our house, but with student loans and personal debt, and we just don't want that anymore. So my vision for myself is to be completely free with our finances and be able to travel every single month if that's what we want to do. And I also want our kids to grow up and never be told that we can't afford that, and never be told that they're unable to do something because of where we're at in life. So that's really where my vision is at. So like I said, that's not a short-term goal. It's a long-term thing. And it's something that kind of took me a while to craft, and it takes a little bit of time to actually think about. So one thing that helped me really like figure it out was the question that Josh asked me. And I don't know the exact words. And if you guys see me glancing, I'm just looking at my notes because I tend to ramble and I don't want to waste your time. But think about this for a second. If you guys could remove all barriers from your life, so barriers that could include time, finances, I don't know, health, whatever they may be, if you could remove all of them, what are the things that you would be doing? What are the things that you would want? And where would you be? So for me, we would remove all of our financial debt. We would be traveling all the time because we can, not because we have to be stuck in one place. And we'd be able to afford things that other people wouldn't be able to afford. So if the best way to really craft your vision is to just ask yourself that. So that was kind of like the main thing. And I think that having that vision is just so important because I'll be honest with you guys, there are times in this business that are really hard. And as Corey mentioned, I've been doing this Josh training and I don't ever remember a time being this hard for me personally because I've been pushing myself so far outside of my comfort zone and sacrificing so many things like time with friends, sleep. I don't sleep a lot anymore, but my vision is what drives me. So having that is what's going to get you through the hard times. When you're having a rough month recruiting people, or when you're having a rough month and people just keep telling you no, that vision and knowing exactly what you want from your life is what's going to keep you going. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about that first, because I just think it's so huge and it's left out way too many times. So I see some questions going, and I'll get to those later because I don't want to get distracted and go off on a tangent. So what you want your life to look like in 5 years, once you're clear with that, it's important to I don't want to say focus on your vision. It's important to implement it daily. So one of the things that I did, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Miracle Morning at all, but it's the Savers routine. So silence, affirmations, visualization, and then exercise, reading, and scribing. So like writing in a journal. So the part that I'm talking about right now is visualization. So I don't have a ton of time in the morning, especially since Brad has to go to work so early. So what I did was create a vision board in Canva, or I know some coaches have used PicMonkey. A lot of people just take pictures from magazines or print them off the computer, put it somewhere where you guys are going to see it every day, and just look at it, okay? If you can't take the time to intentionally think about it, I want you guys to look at it every single day and just have that in the front of your mind at all times. So I look at mine in the morning, and I also have it on my bathroom mirror, and I have our travel board on my bathroom mirror. So every time I'm just putting my makeup on or brushing my teeth, even if I'm not intentionally thinking about it, I can see it, and it's in my mind at somewhere in there, okay? It's in there. So I think having that at hand is a really important tool that you guys can use to just help you stay in tune with that. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about that. I hope I didn't ramble on a little bit too much about that. That was the first topic. And the second topic is consistency. So I was really kind of debating which one I would talk about first, but I think that having vision can help you create consistency. So when I talk about consistency, there are kind of two types. So as you guys know, you have to be consistent in your fitness journey, and you're going to have to be consistent in your business building activities, okay? So I'm going to break down that fitness journey first. So obviously, you guys all joined Corey's team, or you joined Corey's team for a reason, but you probably came into it on the fitness side of things. And that's where I came in too. It was because I was not in a good spot with my nutrition. Even though I was going to school to be a nutritionist, I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to prepare healthy meals. And I was working out, but I wasn't really doing much for my body. I was spending hours at the gym on the treadmill, on the elliptical, and I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. And that was at a time where I was at the heaviest in my life. And granted, I don't have an awesome transformation like Corey does. I know her and PJ lost a ton of weight together, and it's so awesome. But that was what started my coaching career, was getting involved in a challenge group. So the number one reason that you guys need to stay accountable to your fitness and stay consistent in that is because it's part of your job. Okay, so if you think of this business like a job and not treat it like a hobby, or treat it like a I guess there's not another good word for hobby, but if you treat it like a business and treat it like a normal job, working out, eating healthy, and drinking Shakeology is part of that job requirement. Okay, it's one of the vital behaviors. So even if you don't want to do it, you got to do it anyways. Like, I know I have a normal part-time job right now, and there are a lot of things that I don't like doing, but if I didn't do them, I would get fired. So one of the ways to check in with yourself is ask yourself that, like, would you hire yourself or would you fire yourself based on what you did today in your fitness journey? Like, are you meeting your job requirements? Not only do you need to do it for yourself and for your job, but you never know who is going to be watching you. Okay. People will watch your journey even if you don't think they are. Okay, that is one thing that I have been consistent with. Even if I've fallen off track with inviting or running successful challenge groups, I've always shared my fitness journey on Facebook. And I can't remember who said it, but there was a national wake up call that said along the lines of using Facebook as your fitness diary. Okay, it doesn't have to be for anyone else, but you can use it to keep yourself on track. So one of the things that I do with my fitness posts, obviously all the programs that we do have a certain number of days. So right now we're doing hammer and chisel, and it's 8 weeks long, so it's 56 days. So at the end of every single post I do, I put what number day it is. So today I said day 38 out of 56. So even though I know where I'm at, people can watch me along that journey, and anytime they click on one of my fitness pictures, they'll see me along the journey. Not only that, but people will be able to see me complete something, and I think that's really important too, because a lot of us don't realize that people are waiting for us to do something first before they're able to take that leap of faith and join us. So I don't know if you guys have heard the expression silent stalkers before, but they do exist. There are people that literally just watch and watch and watch and watch and watch, and then one day they're going to come out of nowhere. You probably won't even have a conversation with them for a long time, and they're going to ask you what you're doing because they've been watching you. So I think it's really important to stay consistent with your fitness for that reason, because you never know who you're going to inspire, and you're going to feel your best if you're putting in those actions. Okay, that, like, feeling good with your nutrition and fitness is going to spill over into all areas of your life and create confidence and happiness and joy. So that's the fitness side of things. As far as the business side of things, I want to bring this up again, like, treat it like a normal job. Okay. And I wish this is something that somebody had told me when I was first getting started as a coach, because I wasn't super consistent in my actions. And that's why it's taken me a little bit longer to build to where I'm at and really figure out what I wanted to do with this, because I didn't have that consistency. So not only is it important to stay consistent with your fitness journey, because that's a vital behavior, but it's important to stay consistent because you never know when something is going to compound. So you might not be seeing results right now, but 3 to 6 months from now, your business is going to take off. Okay. And I know it can be so frustrating, you guys. And I've been there. Just a little side story. My husband and I got married last November in St. Thomas, but we ended up still having a reception in May. And April, May, June, I was super stressed out. And I can tell you that I was not consistent in my business. And it was a real struggle for me just to show up even on social media, because I was so stressed out with all the wedding planning. And then the months following that were really difficult. Okay. I didn't see it right away in my business. June was okay. July was like a little bit iffy. It was okay because of Summit. But August and September were super hard for me. And I will say this, I haven't really told anybody, I didn't hit Success Club in those months. Okay. So I didn't see that right away in my business, but I saw it a couple of months later, and it just adds up. So even if you're doing something small every single day, it's going to make a difference eventually, and you kind of just have to hang in there and stick it out until it does. So at that point, those couple of months where I wasn't hitting Success Club, it was really frustrating, you guys. And I'm sure that you probably experience this, especially as new coaches. A lot of people are going to say no to you. A lot of people are going to have objections. And it might feel like you're just spinning your wheels and spinning your wheels. But I promise you guys, if you just keep going, it will pay off. Okay. So it can be frustrating. But if you have that vision, you're going to keep doing it anyways because you know it will pay off. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what I wanted to say about that, but I don't know if you guys have any questions. Corey, do you have anything else? I know that was really fast, but I get nervous and talk super fast. Let me see here.
No, that was awesome. I have a bunch of notes here. So I typed in the chat box the question that Josh asked you. There was 3 pieces, and I only got 2 because I was trying to type as fast as I could. So what were the 3 questions or 3 pieces of that question to create your vision or like your dream life?
Okay, so that main question is if you could remove all barriers, where would you want, like, where would your life be in 5 years from now?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if everything hard just didn't exist, what would you have in life? And he made us like really break it down, like, what have people told you are too expensive that you would want anyways? And like for me, there's like take something simple as flying first class might be unnecessary, but how cool would it be to fly first class every time you travel? So that's kind of just something like that was part of my vision that I crafted because I want that. I want that for me and for Brad and for our kids someday. But it was, what would you have, be, and what would you do? So like kind of what would you do with your time if you had more freedom of time? What would you, yeah, I guess who would you want to be and what would you want to have? Does that make sense?
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Does anybody else have any questions? No, I'll ask if you don't mind. What time is it?
No, go for it.
8:49. Okay, so could you talk about, like, have you always been consistent in your health and fitness, or is that something that you've kind of struggled with along the way at times?
Okay, so this isn't a very straightforward answer. So I have always been consistent in sharing. Okay, so like regardless of where I've been at in my fitness journey, I've always been consistent at sharing my workouts. But I have not always been consistent in sticking with the program, being a product of the product. And I've had some big issues with nutrition that I've just recently started breaking through. So I still struggle with that. That's like one of my deep rooted issues that I have an issue with. And it's really hard for me to stay on track with nutrition, especially with the health issues that I have going on. So yes and no, I guess, to answer your question. Yes, I've been consistent in sharing it, but no, I have not always been consistent in being a product of the product.
Okay, awesome. And then if nobody else can think of anything, the only other question I was going to ask is, like, when you hit those low points in your business, or when you heard all those no's and it became frustrating, like, what are some things that helped you to overcome that and to keep focused and keep showing up even though you maybe were discouraged or frustrated or?
Okay, so well, I'm going to share something with you guys that Josh asked, or not asked, but told us. But this was like after I went through those low points. So this is what helps me get through like my lack of sleep and like my just tiredness right now. So obviously my vision has a lot to do with our family, like me and Brad and like our dogs and our future kids. So he had said, if you guys, like, the next time that you don't want to work your business, you need to look your kids in the face and tell them, I was too busy watching Netflix, I was too busy, or I was too tired, or along those lines. Like when you don't make your business a priority, you're not making your family a priority, because everything comes down to that and why you're doing this. Because I guarantee, like, you guys aren't just inviting people because it's fun, right? Like that's not the fun part of this business. There are some things that aren't like the glamour and the glitz. It's not always like shiny and fun. But the reason that you do that is because you know that you can help people, and in turn, like, you're going to create that freedom for your family. So when you don't feel like doing it, like I just really have to think about us and what we want. And right now that's like getting out of our house and getting out of debt. So that's what's motivating me at this time. But during those hard times, I like really had to lean on other people. Like I would talk to Meg a lot, and she said, you just got to keep doing it. You like just have to know in your heart, like you just have to know that things are going to get better, because every coach goes through this. Like you can be a new coach, you could be emerald, you could be 10-star diamond, and like every coach that's in this business will go through seasons and like drop rank. They're going to not hit success club, or they're going to not sign as many coaches. They're going to have coaches quit. It happens to everyone. So you kind of have to learn how to detach yourself from it and just know that the season's going to change. So for me right now, I'm in a season of like serious hustle, and I'm tired all the time because I'm sacrificing sleep, because there's not much else to sacrifice. Okay. Like I don't watch TV, I don't watch Netflix. But I work as much as I possibly can, because I know that it's not always going to be like this, and I can do it for just a little bit longer, and then it's going to be a little bit longer, and eventually I'm going to create that snowball effect and create momentum, and it'll pay off. So you just kind of got to know it. You got to, like, if you have to tell it to yourself every day, just do it out loud. You just have to know it in your heart that things are not always going to be hard. I don't know. Does that help? Did that answer your question?
Preach it.
Seriously, Josh stuff is like crazy. Like, oh, he's very motivating and inspiring. So if I could like contribute any of that to you guys, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. It's definitely, we've talked about that before, is like connecting that pain point. For some people it might not be kids, but for a lot of us it is. And it's just having that freedom of life, for sure.
I mean, awesome. I don't have kids, but I want to be home with my dogs. Like I take them every single day. It's sad. Like they shouldn't have to sit in our house for 10 hours by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to figure out why you're doing this. And if it's freedom, then you got to work your ass off so you can have it someday. But
for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much, love. Yeah. Sorry I'm not as bubbly and energetic as normal.
Okay, no worries. I had like 2 servings of energy today. So.
I love it. I'm addicted.
Yeah, right now.
All right, girls. Anybody else have any other thoughts or questions before we wrap it up? No? All right. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I took a whole page of notes in my phone, so thank you so much for all of that. We really, really appreciate you and your time and all the information that you shared with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, girls. Well, thank you all for jumping on. It was good to see some new coach faces, Miss Julie, and to have Katie on the call. So you all have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go to bed and get some rest. You too. You go to bed because you're getting up at 3 a.m. like a boss.
Not like a boss, but I do my best.
You're like slothing off and, to get out of bed. But hey, it's just practice for when you do have babies and they need to get up at 3 a.m. to feed. Yeah, Melissa's like, yeah, Melissa has a little guy who's a little over a year old, like 18 months. And then she's pregnant and due in January. So she's like, yeah, I know all about being up in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. All right, loves, everybody have a good evening. Just to make it the whole team aware, in case you were planning on it, I am not doing a power hour in the morning because I am going to get some rest to hopefully avoid this getting any worse. So I love you all. Have a great rest of your evening. Allison, thank you again. We'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.